Hi guys, I'm Kesha. Welcome to our coffee times to talk about horror. And today I'm here to talk to you about Longlegs.
It's coffee time.
The time has come for us to discuss this film, and I have been really anticipating this film. It's probably been my most anticipated movie of the year, even though there is a couple of other ones that I have also really been excited and expecting, like Maxine. But I felt like this one in particular, there was something inside of me that could not wait any longer to watch this movie. So the moment that it was available here in the cinemas, I went and watched it. So I'm here to talk to you about the movie spoiler free. Every year, there's always that specific horror movie that everybody's talking about. There's always a movie that, mostly thanks to really good marketing and advertisement, gets really hyped. And there's always that movie that people say, this is the scariest movie of the year, or this is the scariest movie ever. It's been happening every year, and this year it's the case of Longlegs. It stars Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage, and he also serves as a producer with his producing company. And the cast, the director, everything kind of drew me to the film, so I am really excited that I was able to watch it quite quickly. Like as soon as it came out, I booked the tickets so that we could talk about it. I was excited for this movie for very different reasons. So first of all, obviously the marketing team did a wonderful job at giving us images from the very beginning, creating expectation. There was even a phone number you could call, which I didn't, and a website you could check, which I didn't because I didn't want to get too spoiled. And I think even in the teaser trailer that we got here in the cinemas, there was no dialogue. It was very cryptic, and they kept everything quite under wraps. And a lot of the things from the movie are kept away from marketing and from the teaser trailer, so I was really happy about that. Second reason is Nicolas Cage. I don't think I need to explain this one. And I also really enjoy The Black Coat's Daughter as well as Gretel and Hansel, and those were both directed by Oz Perkins, so I was really excited to see what he was going to do with this one, being a director that had done really good movies in the past, movies that I had really enjoyed. But I also knew that his movies were not for everybody. There was a lot of talk about Gretel and Hansel and people not enjoying it, but that movie is stunning. It's beautiful. It's a slow burn, yes, but it has amazing images, creepy images. So I was really excited to see what he was going to do with Longlegs. I don't know if I'm gonna be as excited about this movie this year. Don't get me wrong, I'm really excited about Maxine because I have really loved both X and Pearl, but I think the only other movie that could top it is if at the end of the year we do get Nosferatu by Robert Eggers. If we do get that one, Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu, that might top it, but we will have to wait and see. It's also really scary going to the cinema to watch a movie that has been hyped so much and that you personally are really excited to watch, because it's always, a gamble. You might actually love it and come out of it saying like, oh my god, this has been my favorite of the year, or you might come out disappointed because of all the expectations from viewers and from yourself. So I'm gonna talk to you about the movie today, but I can promise you I'm gonna be extremely vague about the movie. I'm not gonna talk about the actual plot. I'm not gonna talk about things that are spoilers. I'm not gonna talk about any twists and turns in the story. Everything is gonna be quite vague because I want everybody to experience this movie without getting all of that nice stuff spoiled. FBI agent Lee Harker is assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes an unexpected turn, revealing evidence of the occult. Harker will have to try and stop the killer before he strikes again. First of all, I have to say that Nicolas Cage in this movie is absolutely fantastic. He is a force to be reckoned with. His performance in this movie is something I will not easily forget, ever. It's gonna haunt me. But I'm not gonna discuss his character or the way he looks or anything like that because I think that would be getting into spoiler territory. So just for you to know that Nicolas Cage in this movie is absolutely fantastic. So let's talk about Micah Monroe instead, who plays here our main character, FBI agent Lee Harker. And her character is a very, very different type of character. She's not your typical main character, and she's even a character that you kind of have to decipher yourself. She's not like a very clear black and white person or has a very clear personality, which made her character all the more interesting. And as we keep going throughout the film, we're gonna learn more about her, and you get to know her as she is trying to help the police to solve a murder case. So there is a serial killer on the loose and has been killing for years, and the police has not been able to find any clues or find the killer at all. And so they have asked agent Lee Harker to join them because she is very successful and they think that she has what it takes to help them. And this is a serial killer that always uses the same modus operandi, and I really love to see the true crime aspect of this film. They use a lot of wide angles when they were shooting this film, which is something that leaves a lot of empty space and makes the character also look smaller, and that leaves you with a very unsettling feeling, like somebody would be in a room answering a phone call, and then the angle, you know, the frame would be so wide that you would be able to see the other doors in the house, the door to the kitchen, the door there, and you're always so unsettled trying to look in the shadows. Like, it's always this feeling of anything can happen any moment, anytime, and that just creeps under your skin. This movie elevates the tension and the creepiness with such simple ways, just giving you a wide angle, giving you all of this vast space around the character that makes it really unsettling. So big props to the cinematography, because all of these like different door frames and rooms and hallways and things that you always see in the background of a scene, they add so much to that tension. The edit is great, the score is great, and there are even moments where there is just complete silence, which again makes it so unsettling and so tense. I think Oz Perkins has kept a lot of the darkness from his previous films, but he has evolved and has moved on to something different, and a lot of people are gonna compare this movie to Silence of the Lambs, for example, but I feel like he just took something like the typical serial killer true crime police investigation and he gave it a really nice fresh spin. Even though the movie and the vibe that it has, it is kind of selling you a realistic serial killer mystery, it still keeps the audience on their feet, and a lot of things that you assume are reality might be a little bit darker than you anticipated. I'm not gonna give you any more details about the story or why is it dark or the nature of the film. And we're gonna move on to the horror now. So when the movie already started, like the first seconds of the movie, they start running like credits, the opening credits, and they're already giving you subliminal messages. There are like images that are popping up for like a half second, and you already start feeling really, really uncomfortable. So the movie already opens making you feel quite uncomfortable and unsettled, and that's gonna move on until the end of the film, and you might also take that home with you, not gonna lie. It sends the tone immediately, and it gives you this sense of dread, and it's gonna stay with you and stay with you. It's just gonna get worse. And I can tell you, when I was home, I was still thinking about this film. It's been a couple of days since I watched it. I'm still thinking about this film. I'm still watching all the interviews and all the explanations, and I just need to consume more about this film. That's how haunting it is. This movie is not there to give you jump scares. There are a few kind of jump scary moments, which are really well executed, but these movies' goal is to make you just feel the dread, the feeling of being uncomfortable. It's gonna creep under your skin, and it's one of those movies that haunts you as you're watching it and after. You're gonna take this movie with you, trust me. And I feel like that is why a lot of people said this movie was really scary for them. It's because to me, a scary movie is not jump scares and slashing and killing. To me, a scary movie is a movie that is able to get under my skin, that makes me really uncomfortable, that makes me unsettled, and that when I go home, when I leave that cinema, I'm still thinking about it. I'm still haunted by it. The images are still in my brain. And days later, I'm still thinking about it. I want to rewatch it. That's how I know a movie has gotten to me. But horror is very different for everybody. So something that is scary to me or unsettling to me might not be for you. And I can see why a lot of people maybe expected something different from this film. Going into it, maybe they were expecting a different type of movie, and they were confronted with these haunting of a movie, and maybe it didn't work for them. You know, I've seen people saying they loved it, people saying they didn't enjoy it at all, but that is because horror and things that makes us scared are very different. They're very personal to everybody. I will never forget Nicolas Cage in this role. I don't think I can ever look at him the same. And it is, like I said, it's one of those films that you already start the movie feeling something's off. And as you progress, a lot of things are gonna feel uncomfortable and things are gonna feel like something's going on. You still don't know what. You have to wait until the resolution. But I can assure you that if you love movies that are just haunting and movies that will give you images that are not gonna allow you to sleep, this might be the perfect movie for you. So I had to be honest and realistic, and I decided to give this movie a 5 out of 5. And that is a very high rating, and it doesn't happen often that I give a movie such a high rating. Now, this movie has been compared to Zodiac, to Seven, to Silence of the Lambs, and I can tell you there are influences of that in the film, but this movie goes its own way, and it is not copying or it is not another one of those movies. Trust me on that. It is so refreshing to go to the cinema and watch an original horror movie. Of course, it's gonna have influence from other films, like which movie doesn't at this point when so many movies have been made. But it is original at its core, and it is a movie that honestly I feel like it's going to be my favorite of the year. Possibly only Nosferatu by Robert Eggers might be able to top it, but I think I might have found my movie of the year. And I am so happy that I can be here today to talk to you about it and make you go watch it so that you can be haunted as well. I know this was kind of like a quicker, more vague movie review, but I still hope that you enjoy it. I'm doing it for you because I need you guys to go into the movie without knowing way too much. So trust me on this. Don't watch any people going into dive deep into the film. Don't read reviews because a lot of them have spoilers in them. So just go into the movie, embrace it, enjoy it, and then let me know how it went. I hope that you enjoyed the review. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all as always in our next coffee time. Bye!